I thought my new boss hated single dads, until she showed up at my daughter's school. When I accepted the position at Harrison & Cole Financial, I thought my biggest challenge would be learning how to work under Victoria Langley. I had no idea that, a few weeks later, she would be standing outside my daughter's elementary school in the pouring rain, and that everything I believed about her would change. My name is Daniel Carter. I was 34, a widower, and the father of an 8-year-old girl named Lily. Since my wife, Emma, passed away 3 years earlier, my entire life had become a carefully balanced routine. Wake Lily up at 6:30. Make breakfast. Braid her hair, badly, according to her. Get her to school. Rush to work. Leave as early as possible. Pick her up. Make dinner. Help with homework. Then do it all again the next day. Life was exhausting, but Lily was worth every second of it. The problem was that my old company had never understood that. Whenever Lily got sick, my manager sighed. Whenever I had to leave for a school meeting, someone made a comment about special treatment. Eventually, when the company downsized, I was one of the first people let go. So when I received an offer from Harrison & Cole, I promised myself I would do whatever it took to keep the job. Then I met Victoria Langley. She was 38, sharp, successful, and intimidating in a way that made everyone in the office sit straighter when she walked past. On my first day, she entered the conference room wearing a dark suit, placed a folder on the table, and looked directly at me. "Mr. Carter," she said, "I've reviewed your employment history." "That sounds dangerous," I joked. Nobody laughed. Victoria didn't smile. "I expect professionalism," she said. "Deadlines are deadlines. Meetings are not optional. Personal problems should not interfere with professional responsibilities." I swallowed. Understood. From that moment, I was convinced she hated me. Or, more specifically, that she hated single fathers. The first incident happened 2 weeks later. Lily's school called me at 10 in the morning. She had developed a fever and needed to go home. I was supposed to present a report to Victoria at noon. My hands were shaking as I knocked on her office door. "Come in." Victoria didn't look up from her laptop. "Ms. Langley, I'm sorry, but my daughter is sick. Her school just called, and I need to pick her up." Her fingers stopped moving. Slowly, she looked at me. For several seconds, she said nothing. My heart sank. Then she asked, "Is there anyone else who can collect her?" "No." "Family?" "My parents live 4 hours away." Victoria leaned back in her chair. "Your presentation?" "I can send the report and finish it from home." She stared at me. "Go." I blinked. "Go?" "Yes, Mr. Carter. Your daughter is ill." I didn't wait for her to change her mind. But the next morning, Victoria criticized the formatting of my report for nearly 15 minutes. So my original opinion remained unchanged. She hated me. She just didn't want my daughter to die at school. Over the next month, things became worse, or at least that was how I saw them. Victoria corrected everything I did. My emails were too long. My reports were too cautious. My presentations needed more confidence. Once, after I arrived 7 minutes late because Lily had forgotten her school project at home, Victoria looked at her watch. "Mr. Carter, punctuality matters." "I know. I'm sorry. Make sure it doesn't become a habit." That sentence stayed with me all day. I knew she thought I was unreliable. I knew she regretted hiring me. Then came the worst week of the year. Lily's school announced its annual Family Career Day. Parents were invited to come into classrooms and speak about their jobs. Lily had been talking about it for weeks. "Daddy, you're coming, right?" "Of course." "You promise?" "I promise." But the night before the event, Victoria scheduled an emergency meeting with one of our largest clients. Same time. Same morning. I stared at the calendar, feeling sick. Lily was asleep when I got home, and I stood in her bedroom doorway, watching her hold the small paper badge she had made for me. It said, "My dad is my hero." I almost cried. The next morning, I went to Victoria's office. She was already waiting. "Mr. Carter. The client meeting begins in 20 minutes. "I know." "Then why are you standing there?" I took a breath. "My daughter has an event at school." Victoria's expression changed immediately. "It's during work hours?" "Yes." "And you knew about it?" "Yes." "Then why didn't you request time off?" "Because the client meeting was scheduled after the school event was announced." She closed her laptop. I expected an argument. Instead, she said, "And?" I stared at her. "And I promised Lily I would be there." Victoria stood. For one brief second, something in her face softened. Then it disappeared. "Mr. Carter, this meeting involves a major client." "I understand. I need you there." My heart dropped. "Of course." I nodded. "Okay." Victoria paused. "Okay. I'll attend the meeting." "And your daughter?" I looked down. "She'll understand." Victoria stared at me for a long moment. Then she picked up her phone. "Cancel the meeting." I looked up so quickly that I nearly hurt my neck. "What?" I said, "Cancel it." "But the client." "Reschedule." "Ms. Langley, you don't have to do that." Her voice became colder. "Mr. Carter, I did not ask for your opinion." 10 minutes later, I was driving toward Lily's school. I should have felt relieved. Instead, I felt confused. Why would a woman who clearly disliked single dads cancel an important meeting for me? I found Lily outside her classroom. The moment she saw me, she ran toward me and wrapped her arms around my waist. "You came." I promised. She smiled so brightly that every problem in my life suddenly felt small. The event was wonderful. Lily introduced me to her classmates as the best dad in the whole universe, which caused several parents to laugh and me to pretend that I had something in my eye. Afterward, the children were released for lunch. Lily and I walked toward the school gate. That was when I saw Victoria. She was standing beside a black car across the street. For a moment, I thought I was imagining things. Then she noticed me. I froze. Lily looked up. "Daddy, do you know that lady?" Victoria began walking toward us. "What are you doing here?" I asked. She stopped a few feet away. For the first time since I had met her, she looked nervous. "I came to make sure you attended the event." I stared at her. "You came all the way here to check on me?" "No." "Then why are you here?" Victoria looked at Lily. Then back at me. "I came because I wanted to see something." "What?" She took a slow breath. "What I lost." The words changed everything. Victoria looked toward the school building. "My father worked constantly," she said quietly. "He always promised he would come to my school events. My birthdays. My performances." She gave a small, sad laugh. "He always had an important meeting." I didn't say anything. One day, when I was 9, I had a presentation at school. I waited for him for almost 2 hours. Her voice trembled slightly. He never came. Lily squeezed my hand. Victoria continued. "My mother died when I was young. After that, my father became obsessed with work. I convinced myself that if I became successful enough, I would finally understand why work mattered more than family." She looked directly at me. "But I never did." Suddenly, all those weeks made sense. The strictness. The coldness. The way she watched me whenever Lily called. "You don't hate single dads," I said. Victoria shook her head. "No." "Then why have you been so hard on me?" She smiled faintly. "Because you remind me of my father. That one hurt. I'm not him. I know that now." I looked down at Lily. Victoria knelt in front of her. "Your father is very lucky to have you." Lily smiled. "My daddy says I'm his best friend." Victoria looked at me. Then she said something I never expected. "Take tomorrow off." I laughed. "What? Paid leave? Why?" "Because I have learned that fathers sometimes need to be reminded that being present is not something to apologize for." The next day, Lily and I went to the zoo. And for the first time in years, I didn't check my work email. Over the following months, my relationship with Victoria changed. She was still demanding. My reports were still apparently too cautious. My emails were still too long. But something was different. When Lily had a school play, Victoria asked me whether I had requested the afternoon off. When I apologized for needing to leave early one day, she simply said, "Stop apologizing." And when I was promoted 6 months later, I finally understood something important. Victoria had never hated me. She had been testing whether I would become the kind of man who sacrificed everything for his career. The kind of man who came home with promotions but missed every moment that mattered. One evening, after everyone else had left the office, I found Victoria standing near the window. "Can I ask you something?" I said. She nodded. "Do you ever regret not having children?" She was quiet for a moment. "Yes." Then she smiled. "But regret is useless if you don't learn from it." I nodded. As I walked toward the elevator, she called after me. "Mr. Carter?" "Yes?" "Your daughter's birthday is next Tuesday." I turned around. She smiled. "Your calendar is clear." That night, Lily and I sat on the couch eating ice cream. She leaned against me and looked up. "Daddy?" "Yes, sweetheart." "Do you like your new boss now?" I laughed. "She's still scary." Lily giggled. "But?" I thought about Victoria standing outside that school in the rain. I thought about the cancelled meeting. The unexpected understanding. The second chance she had given me without even realizing it. "But I think she's trying her best." Lily nodded seriously. "Everybody is." And maybe that was the lesson I needed most. Sometimes, people seem cold because they are protecting wounds we cannot see. Sometimes, the person you believe is standing in your way is actually trying to push you toward the life you are afraid to choose. I had thought my new boss hated single dads. But when she showed up at my daughter's school, I finally understood the truth. She didn't hate fathers who put their children first. She was jealous of them. And from that day on, I stopped feeling guilty for being one. Because no meeting, promotion, or career opportunity could ever replace the sound of my daughter running toward me and saying the words I never wanted to forget again. "Daddy, you came." And this time, I knew I always would.